Why do you want to leave your current position? Have you ever had this question asked in an interview? This can be very difficult for someone who's unprepared. Somewhere along the lines, you could also have been asked something like, why did you leave your past job if you are currently unemployed? Or what happened at your last position, right? So in this video, we're going to cover how to answer this question, and you'll see that it's much easier than you think. Remember to smash that like button if you haven't, and let's jump right in. All right, so what are some of the best things to do this? This is going to be very short. We'll start with what not to do. All right, so what not to do? First thing is, as a guideline, don't ever talk bad or ill or blame anyone. You don't want to be negative. You don't want to say that something bad happened and you got laid off, or that you did something, a huge mistake that cost the company a lot of money. Even if that was the truth, you don't want to tell it like that. You want to spin it off positively, right? So we're going to jump very quickly into how to do it right. But for the time being, what you don't want to do is that. Anything that has to do with blaming others. Oh, my boss sucked. I left that job. Or, oh, like I hate my current boss. I need someone to work with someone else. Or my coworkers, they gossip so much. Anything that's negative that you're talking about someone else is gonna come back to haunt you. The recruiter or the hiring manager, they're going to think that you are a toxic person, or that you just have the tendency to blame others and not take responsibility for yourself. That's how you're going to be perceived. So at any cost, avoid talking ill of anyone else. Even if the company had to downsize and they had to lay you off, you can still talk about that in a constructive fashion. Something along the lines of, well, there was a recession, or there was a restructuring in the company, and so at that point I had the opportunity to look for other roles which will lead me to have more responsibility and to improve my skill sets in X, Y, Z. And that takes me to why I am here today, or something along those lines, okay? So if you don't want to badmouth others, what do you want to do? So we're gonna go into what to do. That is, you want to make sure that you're putting it in this way. It's not about leaving the other job. You can talk about that very shortly. You want to talk positively about your previous role. Oh, my previous role, it was great. I loved everyone there. The work was very stimulating. But I think that it is the right moment now to step up in my career and jump into a higher responsibility. Or I think this is a good moment to start learning a new skill set when it comes to management. Or this is a good moment to grow in my ability to contribute in the industry, or somewhere along those lines, right? Anything along those ways, right? So you want to make sure you make it about growing, learning, taking more responsibility, all of those things that are positive and are about like growth and contributing more. And you feel like even though you love the previous place, the new place is going to be better for that growth and that contribution. But you don't want to say it that way. You want to leave it implied, right? Implied. What do I mean by implied? Essentially what I just said. The answer to that question, why you want to leave your current role, is, oh, my current role is great. I've learned a lot over the past years. I've developed these competencies. But I feel like it's the right moment to step up in my career and take on a larger level of responsibility. That's the second part. And that second part is just an implicit way of saying, I want to jump into your new role in order to grow and contribute more. Why? Because you're not getting it where you are right now, but you're not actually saying it that way. So it comes off in a very positive light. You smell like roses. You look like a freaking superhero, and you answer that question correctly. Now, make sure that whichever way you choose to answer this question, you actually have solid, concrete evidence, or how do we call it? Examples to back up your claims. For example, if I were to say something along the lines of getting more responsibility, some interviewers might want to dive a little bit deeper on that. and say, okay, so what exactly do you mean by more responsibility? Then you're gonna have to go, and if they ask me that, then I will go into what those new responsibilities are, and I will talk about what exactly is it required of the role that they're interviewing me for. And that's okay, you don't have to talk about the past. But other people might go along and say something along the lines of, that's great, but what kind of responsibilities did you have before, right? Then you're gonna want to talk about that very briefly, but again, keeping it positively, keeping it not blaming anyone, not putting any negative bend on anything. In fact, if they ask you, you don't just say like meh or anything like that. No, you talk positively about them. Because if you are a reasonable person, you will be able to find at least one positive thing in whatever job you had, right? Every single position has good things, bad things, things that can be improved, things that are already very good, things that are very bad as well, perhaps, things that are a good fit for you, things that are not a good fit for you. So whenever you're asked those questions, you want to highlight the things that are positive, and then maybe highlight a little bit the things that could have been improved, that you went in and you improved. But that's for a different kind of question, so don't get into that. If it's just why you're leaving this current job or why you left the previous one, only talk positives. Don't talk about things that could be improved, that is gonna come off wrongly. Just say, okay, like it was a great job on this side, this side, this side, but I believe that for this step of my career, it's time to blah, 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 right? And that's it. That's a great way to answer that. And if you have any questions, just comment below and let me know. Also, if you haven't already, remember to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know whenever a new video comes out.